Okay, so quick health update. I'm not getting better. Um, I had an appointment last week, Wednesday, and they took blood. They don't know what's wrong. They still can't tell me what's wrong. Um, so I've started keeping a log of all the times that I have these episodes because the doctor is asking specifically how many times I'm having them, and I can't tell him because it happens so many times a day that I can't keep track unless I'm writing it down. It's not always a situation where I'm calling 911. Sometimes I just sit up too fast and immediately have to lay back down. Sometimes I take a shower that's too hot, and when I get out, I feel like I'm going to pass out. Sometimes I go for a walk, and I just suddenly start feeling like I'm going to pass out. I only call the ambulance if I can't regulate it myself. If laying down and drinking water doesn't help, I call an ambulance or I allow somebody else to call an ambulance. But because this is happening to me so frequently, if I'm calling an ambulance every time, I might as well just live in the hospital. So I think the doctor is a little frustrated because I couldn't give him a reasonable answer for how many times this has happened. I did let him know that I've had to call, or I've had an ambulance called for me approximately 5 times since the last time I saw the doctor, which was in January. Because it keeps happening out in public, and when it happens out in public, other people freak out and they call for help. He's got me scheduled for a whole bunch of doctors, but I don't have a phone to make these appointments, so I don't know what to do there because I have to call to make these referrals. And I went after my last appointment, I had a therapy appointment, and I tried to call and make the appointments from my therapist phone, and there was no answer. It was like, well, leave us a message. I can't. I don't have a phone for them to call me back. So I can't call and make the appointment because it's a situation where you have to call and leave a message and have them call you back. And the only time I have a phone is if I'm at a therapist office. I'm only there for an hour a week. So that's not a reliable number that I can give these people to call me back to make these appointments. And I can't get a phone because the government will not issue me a phone that works. I've had multiple, and the government phones simply don't pick up service where I live. If I lived someplace else, possibly I could have a government phone. The one I've got now only has half a screen. That's all the screen I get because I got mad and I threw it because it wasn't working. And I've been dealing with that for 6 months. And I tried to get that replaced, and I couldn't because the man hit the wrong button. When I tried to get it replaced, the man was trying to upsell me. He was trying to sell me a plan that cost $12 a month. I don't want a plan that costs $12 a month. I want a plan that's free. The government plan is supposed to be free, but now there's an extra. If you get the government plan, there's an extra $12 plan. You can choose. It's optional. You can choose, but a lot of times, because they're trying to make money, they will automatically sign you up for that $12 plan, and then because they've done that and you've decided you don't want to, they have to then clear out the document, the request for a new phone, and you have to wait a full another month before you can apply for another one. And they did that to me twice, so I stopped applying for one because I can't afford to pay $12 a month for a phone that's supposed to be free. I simply can't. So not having a phone, I can't make these appointments. They want me to see a cardiologist, they want me to see a neurologist, and they want me to have a CAT scan done. And I can't make the appointments to have these things done. Um, he kept focusing on my age, which kind of bothered me. Because when I was there in January, age was not a factor. He was constantly telling me, anemia is fairly normal for young women, and everything we discussed, age was never a factor. But because on paper, between January and March, I went from 39 to 40, suddenly age is a factor. And he said, like, multiple different times, well, because of your age, sir, I am 2 months older than I was the last time you saw me. If my age is a problem, it should have been a problem in January as well. I don't think aging actually works like that. I don't think it's a specific day where you're suddenly old and your body just works differently. Like, but because of my age, we're looking more seriously at my heart. If I can get these appointments made, anyways, we will be. Because of my age. I'm old. This is an additional health update. Water is bullshit. Water feels like a fucking scam because since I've started thinking this is POTS, I have increased my water intake because POTS is heavily affected by dehydration. So I thought, if I start drinking more water, I'll stay more hydrated and I won't be passing out as often. Wrong! I seem thirstier than ever after drinking more water than I've ever drank in my life. For the past week, I have ensured that I drink at least a liter of water a day. I use a soda bottle to keep it, regulated in how much I'm drinking. I have liter soda bottles, and I'm still drinking soda, but throughout the day, in between my sodas, I'm drinking an entire liter of water a day. And I am waking up with dry mouth and the feeling that I haven't had anything to drink in weeks. Just, I'm getting more dehydrated, and it's somehow causing diarrhea. I fasted yesterday. I still have diarrhea today. There's nothing in my system but water. What the fuck is causing it? Apparently, Google tells me that drinking water after not drinking water can cause diarrhea. Water is bullshit. I'm gonna just gonna go ahead and say that.